Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmi Shai Bashimar Rakak Radash. And double honors to the elder apostles and as well as even the bishops that have taught us this truth, man. Man, I just want to just cover some more on this right here. And before I go further, Yahweh Bashmi Shai Brakatham to all of the believers that is sincere, whom is 144,000. And as well as the 1/3 that do follow the ministry, and it's your brother Laban. So this reads, England on the brink. Starmer vows swift action against anti-immigration extremists. Government advises back COVID-style lockdowns to stop riots. The PM, Sir Carl Starmer, has vowed that police has his full support in taking on extremists as anti-mass migration protesters and riots have broken out across the UK following the mass stabbings at a children dance party in Southport earlier this week. Facing a full-blown crisis less than 1 month into office, recently elected leftist Prime Minister Starmer gathered top cabinet ministers on Saturday as unrest erupted in dozens of towns and cities throughout the UK, in many cases in typical Labour Party strongholds in the north of England, in response to the slaying of 3 young girls and the stabbing of 8 others, including children, allegedly by a 17-year-old lad, Rwanda heritage, second-generation immigrant on Monday. Right? So, yeah, I just wanted to just speak more on this right here, man. I mean, they talking about bringing back COVID-styled lockdowns. And again, this goes right back to Second Esdras once again. All right? This is the vision of Ezra, the prophet. See, this is how you know that we have a more sure word of prophecy. And like I said, we'll have to wait and see how far this goes because, you know, I'm getting the feeling this could probably go for a certain amount of weeks or it could die down. But we'll have to wait and see, man. You know, but it's approaching that time, man. It ain't approaching that time. We're in that time of the end. So this reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another in swords in their hands. And as well as you even have the same in Venezuela because of the voting situation over there. You got people riding over there too. All right. And just to add, let me read another precept. Luke 21. Luke 21. And verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. We've had a lot of those. And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, and is seeing the waves roaring. Right? So let's look up this word perplexity in the Greek. Aporia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Strong's G 640. Aparia. Aparia.
Or it's aparia, which means the state of one who is in perplexity. They're not really giving much, but that's the wrong one anyway. That's not the one I wanted. Let me see something, man. Maybe I'm reading the wrong one. Let me do this instead. Oh, it's 9. Okay, right. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, aren't we hearing that about the same time? This is it right here, Luke 21 and verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, and that's what we're hearing right now in this generation. We're hearing about the intensity between the two countries. we're hearing about how Iran wants to take revenge against Israel because of the slaying of Hanaya, right? So it's getting intense, and this is what we're seeing on the news. And as well as we're hearing the commotions, and we're seeing the commotions right here. So this is, come on, man. I mean, all of this right here, and as well as what I was getting into on my other video prior, right? It's clear cut and dry, it's black and white, that Yahweh Shai is about to make his second return. You know, verse 9, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by, right? Because the mark has to come in. We know that the implantable device has to be introduced mandatorily around the world, and this is coming. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You're gonna have parties against parties. You're gonna have class wars, civil wars, race wars, and kingdoms against kingdoms within the third woe. Okay? But verse 9 is the point. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, this is it. This is, wouldn't you call this a commotion? Come on, man, of course. All right? And they're saying that this could be brought to a case of a civil war. This is what Elon Musk put out there on on the Twitter X. Now let's back up a little bit. I want to read what's in this article though, and we're going to get to that. So as this reads, British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has vowed that police have a full support in taking on extremists as anti-mass migration protests and riots have broken out the UK following the mass stabbings at a children's dance party in Southport earlier this week. I've already read that already. So now let me go down here and let's read this. The Guardian, citing the far-left Hope Not Hate organization, reported that an estimated 35 locations had been scheduled to see protests on Saturday, and some of which saw violent clashes between the participants and the police, as well as attack on businesses, particularly in Belfast, Hull, Liverpool, and Manchester. According to the Telegraph, at least 90 arrests were made throughout the country on Sunday. A Downing Street spokesman told the paper, the Prime Minister set out that the police have our full support to take action against extremists on our streets who are attacking police officers, disrupting local businesses, and attempting to sow hate by intimidating communities. Right? Intimidating communities, excuse me. So, if they're known and declared, as the media is now saying, that they're extremists, this is not a police situation. Now the military has to take charge and get involved. The police is beyond the police now. All right? Like I said in my last video, it's all tumbling down like a bunch of pots and pans. Second Esdras 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure down the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, whom is Yahweh Shai. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, let me go back up and read this again. Right. Scratch that. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Just like I said, this is clear, cut and dry, man. That Yahweh Shai is going to visit the world which he made. It's very simple. It's not a matter of maybe or we're not sure about it. This is of certainty that the prophecy states that when you start to see all of this happening from the book of Luke 21 to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, this is when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right? But like I said, before we reach to the end point of the civilization, when the nukes start flying, The mandatory chipping has to be taking place right about this time. Right about this time, from this year on to maybe the year 2025. It will even make it to that year. Luke, back in Second Esdras, back in the book of Second Esdras 9. In verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, this is an uproar, because the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, is not taking on the side of the British public where it concerns the immigration issues, okay, which has already been pre-planned, and this ain't nothing more than a psyop to engage the public, the British public, against the Muslims, because they need them to fight this war on terror. That's just me thinking. But primarily, I know for sure that this was already set up for the purpose of surveillance. All right? Back to 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 8. Shall be preserved from the, I'm a bit excited, man. All right, so now, then shall thou will understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, in wonders, and in powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. So again, these are all indications and signs that Yahweh Shai is about to make his second return. Okay, and it's going to get worse than this. Now, could this die down? Possibly. Could this be an ongoing thing for weeks? Possibly as well. And so we'll have to wait and see. But we know that this is clear, cut, and dry from where I stand. As it is written, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. We're approaching the end of the world, brothers. Okay? Lord willing, we're approaching the end of this civilization. And I'm very sure of that. Because at the same doggone time, we're hearing about what's going on in the East, and as well as commotions down here in the UK are happening. And there's other stuff going on, which is leading to the complete destruction of this system. The markets are being brought down. There's riots happening in Bangladesh, Venezuela, due to the politics over there, right? And then we just had a case in America, which Donald J. Trump was supposedly hit in the air. And how that could actually set up a civil war there. And then because of this immigration issue, this could also bring the same down here in the UK. All right? So it's all in due time, man. We'll have to wait and see, though. We can't get our hopes too up because, this could die down. But I'm quite confident that this may not die down. This might end up going for weeks, man, on end. So that's all I got to say with this. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Wa'Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us what we now know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Wa'Harakah Kodash, which is indeed the Holy Spirit, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Brakatham to the 144,000 that sincerely give this ministry, who are the saints, and to those that do follow suit, whom is the 1/3. Shalom, man. I'm out.